Linjani Lonke, hi, Tina's Corner. To steal time on not only native to America. If anything, it is the conclusion of the matter that is supreme. Follow us to the end of this video and we share our views, and also we ask you to put your comments on the real actions that each one of us must take to activate this matter. For inaction initiates a reaction that has power to interact with the powers of those who are running an agenda. This is a Maya image in Mexico 600 after a common era. Vital history. This is the United States of America, which is key to our unity. The answer to the question, which race was the first to settle in the Americas, conjures deadly debates amongst black people and also from various scholars of other races. Sometimes we are deliberately schooled to miss the easy part of a very complex problem. But in this case, which one is the easiest part that can be answered adequately? We can use the descriptions of the European explorers who gave us their descriptions in their early works. These are still there, case by case. They do clearly describe who they saw when they visited the Americas for the first time. When they went to these places, European explorers give us proof of the indigenous races found in these places, right in America, North America, Central America, and Southern America. Explorers met people who had already settled in these lands. Who did they actually see? And what is the description that is given to us by these scholars? We must be aware that today they are funding programs to change and drown those proofs that they have, but we have forensic evidence, and they have promoted very funny, if not outright lies. Let us preserve the Black Unity and Earthwise oneness that comes from that. Scholar East Africa says that on this, and I quote, people are so unaware that an imagined image of themselves like Superman, a Black Panther, President Jesus, invisible arbitrary God, and any other imagined image of Western society is conceived out of the ego and emotional reaction or negative thought, causing mental trauma that fractures the mind from itself, literally breaking the conscience in two. America itself and all modern white societies are a mental fracture. To repair a mental fracture, you need to reflect on your thoughts and actions, speak positive of your thoughts of self, and respect the independent thought of others of themselves. I say today is the time to steal and stop the mendacities that causes the fracturing of our unity as black people across the whole earth. Not only unity with Native America, but our earthly oneness with all indigenous black natives of the earth. Totems and ancestor reverence is an attribute found among indigenous people. You can study more about this on this slide that is indicated here. Native Americans carry totems, the same totems found amongst Africans, the same totems found amongst the first Australians. They also venerate ancestors. Same behavior at every level, peaceful, loving, no worrying, no fighting. That's the cause of our demise, that we are a people of peace, very intelligent, the only natural geniuses on earth. So the fractured nation, the black nation is fractured in time. Let us demonstrate the unity and also answer the question of who were the indigenous people in North America, America, Central America, and Southern America. There we are, the first Americans. You can see on this slide, you can go on makeameme.org and find it. All Indians were always dark-skinned people. You look at that. Before the Dawes Act of 1887, and that's a fact. The law changed that. There you can find them like that. American Indian hair, which describes them. Look at that. Aboriginal, the legend. Look at the hair. Look, it's afro. It's rasta. It's straight. This is African hair. Books, letters, and notes on the North American indigenous people of America by George Catlin, 1841. All primitive tribes known in America are dark, copper-colored, with jet black hair, while most possess curls in the extreme and every level of wavy hair in between. The texture of the hair is generally fine, soft or silk, or coarse or harsh. The hair of the men falling down to their arms and sometimes to the ground is divided into plaits or slabs 2 inches wide and filled with profusion of glue and earth, which becomes very hard and remains unchanged from year to year. Today, this form of hair is called locks. Straightforward. This is them. Where do you find these people? In America, in Africa, everywhere. Europeans described who they saw. The complexion of the Carolinas Indians is black, not much different from that of the Ethiopians or Africans or Egyptians. Their hair is black and thick and not very long, tied back behind the head like a small tail. As the physique of these men, they are well proportioned, of medium height, a little taller than we are. They have broad chests, strong arms, and the legs and other parts of the body are well composed. These are black people. They are broad in the face and having big black eyes. There is it, the key. They have a sharp cunning and are agile and swift runners. Giovanni da Verrazzano, Italian explorer, 1524. We go again, more evidence. When the conquistadors, Hernando de Soto, came to the North America in the 1520s and encountered the people that were already living there, he stated that the complexion of these people are black, not much different than that of the Ethiopians. The hair is black and thick and not very long. This can be found in the book The History of Hernando de Soto and Florida by Barnab Ship. Proof. We are proving they are not Asians, these indigenous people. They were black, they were Bantus, they were Africans. More proof. Many, but not all, Native Americans were of dark complexion without African ancestry. J.D. Forbes. Africans and Native Americans, he is dividing them, but they are one people. He is deliberately dividing them, but these people are one. You look at the Dallas, you look at the Algonquin, you look at the Pahutan, you look at the Shinnecock, you look at the Kootenai or Flathead, Assiniboine, Sioux, Africans, Navajo, Africans, Anuyunwea, Africans. The names are African. Kulkasin, the name is African. Chata is African. Kikapo is African. Minikonju Lakota is of. We have got Lakota minister in South Africa, former minister of defense. There they are. Straight black people, Africanized Aboriginal Americans. Let's see what Scott Withrow says here. The Yamasa Indians, or Jamasi, also referred to as the Amogarikakani, Magarikakani. It's a question. It's an ask. Have you stayed there now? Amakarise, Magarisa, you have been there too long. Amekario, where have you been all along? These are Bantus. I'm putting the in Shona straight. Were listed among the 19 tribes as being of dark complexion, found widely scattered among the inhabitants of North and South America. They were assumed to be immigrants from Africa prior to the European discovery of America, whom Lucas Vasquez de la Leon persisted in slave hunting in Beaufort, South Carolina in 1520. Leon referred to the Yamasee as Negroes, being valuable laborers. Straightforward. You can read Carolina Genesis Beyond the Color Line by Scott Withrow, page 65-66. Straightforward, no doubt about it. Let's go to Mexico. The Mexicans were originally Bantus. The images are shown here. These are Bantus. They are not Asians. They are not Europeans. They are Africans or Bantus. Scholarly witness, you can find this on one of the Pinterest. This is a scholar, Nicholas Leon, 1859-1929, physician, archaeologist, anthropologist, ethnologist, founder of Museum of Michoacan in Mexico. What did he say? He said the almost extinction of original Negroes during the time of the Spanish conquest and the memories of them in the most ancient traditions induce us to believe that the Negroes were the first inhabitants of Mexico. Straightforward, you can read this in Historia General de Mexico, Mexico 1919. There it is, proof right in your eyes. We are proving beyond reasonable doubt. Ancient Mexico, there it is. Tlapoquian Mexico, 100 to 1000 before Common Era. Von Wuthenau, there is a person, is African. The Caucasus, Mexico, 400 BCE, 100 BCE. Von Wuthenau again, 1975. There is the proof. Veracruz, Mexico, 300, 780. There is proper African. This is what he says. What now? The startling fact is that in all parts of Mexico, archaeological pieces representing Negro or Negroid people have been found, especially in archaic or pre-classical sites. Professor Alexander von Wuthenau, author of Unexpected Faces in Ancient America, 1500 BCE to 1500 AD. The history of testimony of pre-Columbian artists. That's proof, clear proof You can also go on this website, fantastic, greatest website. If you have never visited this, if you have not visited this, it's time for you to visit this website and study for yourself. Archaeological proof. This is the Huastec African. This is the golden Inca female called the Venus of Friars. The eyes are inlaid platinum, 600 AD. There is an African proper. If you want to see this, watch one of the tennis players. There is the Maya ruler being dressed with the giant animal headdress. Black people, African. The Mayas were black people. You can also visit and read straightforward from the website that we have already indicated. There is the Olmec colossal head, some up to 12 feet tall and weighing several tons. They are thought to be monuments to deceased kings. That's straightforward. The thought is proof. Africans straight without any proof. There is the Mexican black fighter, Gaspar Yanga, warrior and hero, black African. They are phenotypes, Mexicans, original, indigenous, proper Bantu Africans with Shishakati and all the proofs that we have spoken of. In Mesoamerica, almost basalt head, as Aboriginal American Southern Negro. Look at that. The same. Mesoamerica. Olmec is the first elaborate pre-Columbian civilization of Mesoamerica. Centuries 1200 to 400 BCE. Has solid archaeological evidence of the race who founded it. Black Africans, Bantus, not Asians, not Europeans, not Spanish, not anybody but black people, Bantus, Africans, dark black people. The chief of Olmec sites are San Lorenzo, La Venta, Laguna de los Queros, and Tres Zapotes in what is now southern Mexico. Most noticeable for these enigmatic basalt heads, many scholars, e.g. Ivan van Vatslima, 1976, 2003 Clyde Winters, 2013 Deft Imhotep, 2011, etc. agree that the Olmec people were a race of Negroes. Basalt dead, San Francisco Jalapa Museum. Straight, clear forward, no arguments at all. Aztec, the Mayas. There is the Mayas of Bonampak, Chiapas, 600, 900 AD, black-skinned and smoking cigarettes or tobacco before the days of Marlboro. There you are, is Mark W. August 2008. There is straightforward smoking. There is black people. They look like these black people with the snuff, which Africans love very much. This is a black person. This is a black person in Maya. And you can find more on this Pinterest account that we are showing in here. This is a pin. Again, we continue with alien artifacts in lost tombs of Alexander in Peru. This is proper, true Bantu. No need to continue to explain or to shout or to speak or to cry out loudly. It's clear. Let's look at the scholar William Penn on the land panel Delaware, the first natives he encountered. Letter to the Committee of the Free Society of Traders, 1683. The natives I consider in their persons, language, manners, religion, and government with my sense of their original. For their persons, they are generally tall, straight, well-built, and of singular proportion. They tread strong and clever and mostly walk with a lofty chin. Of complexion, black. But by design, as the gypsies in England, they grease themselves with the bear's fat, clarified and using no defense against sun, or whether their skins must needs be swarthy, black. That's the word for being a black. Straightforward. We go again in Ecuador. Coreta culture, 1300 to 1300 before Common Era. There is proper Bantu. There is a Moshe, proper Bantu. Clay Moshe bust, proper Bantu. Straightforward. These are the indigenous people. Sospala, Mexico, 1500 BCE. Typical Bantu. Now they've been replaced by the Spanish. There is a Panama golden pendant, 500 AD, straight Bantu. Huastec again, straight Bantu, Africans, black people. Scholars are slow, but they are tricky and they change things very slightly. And they eventually want to rub out and remove everything that doesn't support them. There is a professor, Eugene Kolbiansky, a Tel Aviv University researcher, reconstructed ancient Israelite faces and found them to have so-called African features in 2008. Well, very sorry, Eugene. The Egyptians and Assyrians and early Romans have beaten you to it because for 1,000 of years they had shown that they had African features because these people were black. Straight, clear forward. I trust eyewitness testimony rather than DNA scholastic work that tries to erase and remove these images. We now show you the Ethiopian, the Haitian, the Namibian, the Pakistani, the Mexican, and the Fijian. We are one people, and indigenous people. In conclusion, therefore, who did the Europeans see? They saw people similar to Ethiopians, similar to Egyptians, similar to Luos, similar to Bagandas, to Akanis, to Shonas, to Ndebeles, to Igbos. They saw Negroes, whether black, whether brown, whether copper. They were all people who call themselves Bantus. Read and see and investigate on yourself how they describe them. We must be aware that today they are funding programs to drown these descriptions. An attempt to steal this cannot be done because we have the proof now. Indigenous people on the earth were black people across the whole. And there's the Zapotec. Even our brothers have been manipulated and are promoting very funny, if not outright lies. The following lies like the Black Hebrew Israelite, which is a wrong narrative. The we indigenous Americans are not Africans narrative is also wrong. Negroes or descendants of Negroes scattered all over the earth, we are one. These divisions will never benefit you and me. We are one people, one race. Let us preserve black unity and earthwise oneness. For indeed it is our duty to steal the time and stop the tide that is destroying our being one native family on this earth. The scholars' pictorial and general evidence provided here is enough evidence and enough drive for that unity. We are Bantus. We are the real first Americans, indigenous people of the earth. Thank you. This is Preacher Rabbi LM Tumizulu of Hamiti Hebrew Ethics. Subscribe to our channel and email LM Tumizulu. Thank you. Tatenta Siabonga. Till we meet again in unity. Thank you. Goodbye.